Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on my channel here. Now in today's video guys, I'm going to be bringing you part 2 of my nickel 3-3-5 wide defensive scheme. Today we're going to be doing the play cover 3 buzz here. This is going to be the second of 5 parts I believe in this scheme, and we're going to be going over cover 3 buzz. I'm going to be going over 2 setups that you can do, as well as some optional adjustments you can throw in there to make this defense better, and I will show you guys all of the setups in this video. And also guys, I do have timestamps as well as these setups down in the description. If you guys want to go ahead, if you miss anything in this video, please go ahead and refer to those timestamps as well as the setups, and basically everything in the description should be, you know, what you need. But guys, before we do get in the video though, if you do want to follow me on Twitter, my link is down below. I will be posting when my new videos go live, as well as maybe talking some football during the Super Bowl this weekend. And guys, also if you want to check out my Discord, it is down in the link below. I actually just got one of my loyal subscribers in there today, and shout out to CODShots 2005, I believe that's your name. Shout out to you, brother. You are much appreciated. And guys, also the sign up for Discord is down there as well if you guys don't want to go ahead and join that. And then finally, if you guys want to check out my 2 most recent videos, they are going to be in the top right of your screen now. But guys, without further ado, let's go ahead, let's get into the defense. Okay guys, so here we go. We're going to start off here with the pre-play adjustments. Now in the first part of the video, or the first part of the scheme, I did mention that you are always going to be coming out in 3 Sam Will blitz, and then your audibles are going to be cover 3 buzz, cover 1 robber, Mike blitz 3, and cover 4 show 2. And then for my coaching adjustments, I had them set as ball under defense on play ball, option defense is conservative, and then my zone drops, my flats are at 5 yards, and my curl flats are 20 yards. That's how I've had them set since probably the beginning of the game, I'd say, is when I first had them set. But guys, basically, we're going to be coming out in this 3 Sam Will blitz, and then we're going to audible down to cover 3 buzz, and then I'm going to show you guys the first setup. Now, I also want to make sure, guys, as well, make sure you have a safety subbed in right here. I am very lucky to have Tyrann Mathieu in this spot, so what I did was I subbed in 2 safeties, or actually 1 safety in this spot right here. I subbed in 1 Thornhill, and then I took Tyrann Mathieu and put him right here. You just want to make sure that you have a really good user safety in that middle linebacker spot. But guys, now without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get into the first setup. Okay guys, so here we go. This is going to be the first setup of the video. Now, as I did mention, you're going to be audibling down to cover 3 buzz. Now, how you're going to do that, you're going to press X twice, and it's going to bring you down to cover 3 buzz. Basically, always come out in 3 Sam Will blitz. That way, it technically gives you 5 plays to audible to. Next thing we're going to do here is we're going to baseline our entire defense, which is going to be Y and right in the left stick. This is going to be pretty symmetrical for most of the scheme, as I'm going to be baselining and pressing most of the time, unless if my opponent starts beating me over the top. Then what I'll do is I'll back off with the receiver that is going to be beating me, and that's going to be really big. But usually I always like to baseline and press on my defenses, that way they look the same, but we're coming out in different coverages. Next thing we're going to do now is we're going to press, which is going to be wide down the left stick, to all the defensive backs come down. It's going to be really key here. Then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to go and we're going to shade over the top, which is going to be Y and up on the right stick. As you can see, basically it's going to prevent you from getting beat over the top easily, and it's going to very much help in terms of the playing defense and your defensive backs bailing. It's going to really help with that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to blitz our user linebacker, which is going to be A and down the right stick. Basically, it just gives you more agility and speed in that spot, and you won't feel as sluggish. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be throwing this safety right here into a deep half, which is going to be double tapping Y, pressing this icon, which is going to be LB, and flicking the left stick up. Basically, this is going to prevent any cover 3 beaters, such as the going through the seams. It's going to prevent any of them. It's going to do a pretty good job of it, honestly. I definitely do rate it, and it does a pretty good job, and I do have to rate it right there. Like, if my opponent were to run verticals and try to beat it up the seams, it's going to get stopped in an instant. So basically, that is going to be why we do it. Then the next thing we're going to do here in this setup is we're going to be putting this left side linebacker right here into a bluff blitz, which is going to be double tapping the right D-pad, pressing the Y button in this case, and then flicking the right stick to the right. Basically, what he'll do is he'll go into a 3-rack hook, which is going to be really good at stopping like the drag routes and the post routes and whatnot. I'll do a pretty good job of it, and he'll play some pretty good coverage over the middle. And then the last thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to pinch our defensive line, or second to last thing. So we're going to pinch our defensive line, which is left on the D-pad down the left stick. Then we're also going to be slanting our defensive line outside, which is going to be left on the D-pad, up on the right stick. So this is the whole setup right here. I'll just do it in real time for you guys. Right here, you see that we're in this defense, and let me just reset the play real quick. That way it resets all of our adjustments. So here we go. Alright, I did that kind of slow right there, but you see that it's honestly like a really easy setup. I recommend, though, going into practice mode and trying this as much as you can until you get it down pat, because it's going to really benefit you in online games, and it's going to basically prevent your opponent from quick hiking you. But basically, created a little route combo here at a PA slot corner. We're just going to hike the ball. You're going to see that we're going to kind of be trying to cover everything, and you see that the offensive line for the defense actually holds up, or the offense holds up pretty well. But you saw that the 3-reception hook actually came down and covered that option route decently well. I believe it started out with the post route covering it, and then it came down. You're going to see right here, this player is in a bluff blitz. You're going to see that over the middle, he does a pretty nice job of covering the post route, so we don't have to worry about him. Then, as you can see, we kind of played the drag route and also this option route at the same time. And then, you know, you're going to see this linebacker right here. He's going to come right down. He's going to play this option route. You're going to see also in this situation, this post route is going to have a very tough time getting open due to the fact that this player is right here. And overall, this was actually a very solid defense right here. Definitely going to be a good defense for you guys to try. Now, unfortunately, the defensive line did not do a great job of getting sheds, but most of the time, if you do have like superstar X Factor players and you put them in the right spots, they should get sheds. Now, some optional adjustments you could do is you could actually go and mask this defense as it's sort of like a cover 2, play more underneath coverage. So how you're going to do this, you're basically just going to do the same steps right here, but instead of shading over the top, we're actually going to shade underneath, which is going to be Y and down the right stick. But pretty much here, we're just going to do all of these same adjustments. You're going to see right here, now we have 2 hard flats on the field. That's going to do a good job of covering like the drag routes and short out routes, but it's also going to leave you very vulnerable in terms of the corner routes and whatnot. So I definitely use this setup very lightly, but if you do want to throw off your opponents, definitely something that you can do. But guys, now let's go ahead. Let's move on to the second defensive setup. Alright guys, so here we go. This is defensive setup number 2. Now, I did mention, guys, as well, make sure you audible down to cover 3 buzz every single time you're going to be using this play. And always come on 3 sim will blitz. But we're going to start off the setup of the same here. We're just going to base the line. We're going to press, shade over the top, blitz our user, put this left side safety into a deep half, which is once again going to be double tapping Y, pricing the icon, which is going to be LB, and flicking the left stick up. But then actually what we're going to do is we're going to take this left side linebacker, and instead of putting him in a bluff blitz, we're going to put him in a hard flat, which is going to be double tapping the right D-pad, pressing Y, and then flicking the left stick to the left. And then we're also going to do the same with this defensive lineman right here. What we're going to do, double tap the left D-pad this time, press the A button, and flick the left stick to left. You want to make sure as well that you don't have a pretty good pass rusher on this right side, because if you do, it takes them out of the equation and it makes the opponent's pocket much more cleaner. So pretty much, guys, that is going to be the setup right here. Now, oh, actually, no, I did miss a step. That's my apologies. Before you do put this player in a hard flat, you have to pinch your defensive line and slant outside, and then put them on a hard flat. So like this, basically. But you're seeing how we're pretty much giving the same look, but we're basically mabling coverages out here. So what I've done is I've created a little bit of a route combo right here. You know, I'm like the route genius, but you're going to see right here that we're just kind of trying to cover everything. Now, unfortunately, my player does fall down right here. Since we're rushing 2, it kind of leaves us vulnerable. We actually do get a pick. I kind of threw it to myself, but you know what? We'll take what we can get. But basically, guys, right here, what I did was I gave my opponent the same look. However, I came out in a pretty much different coverage. So what I did was I employed a concept called mabling, where you go and you put a hard flat as well as a hard flat and a curl flat on both sides of the ball. And what this is going to do is it's going to take away out of the it's going to take out of the equation any of the quick out routes or the corner routes or the crosser routes in the end of the play. Basically, it's going to take them out of the equation, and it's going to do a pretty decent job. However, what I would recommend here is you use this very lightly, because you are only rushing 2 people. But hey, if you're feeling comfortable, playing coverage and you have two pretty good defensive linemen, by all means, go ahead and do it. But I'm just saying that if you don't have the greatest defensive lineman, this is probably not the play for you. Now, in terms of some optional adjustments you guys can make, what you could do is you could do the setup a little differently. You're going to baseline and press just like, just like we did. However, we're actually going to shade underneath. Then we're going to throw this left side safety into a curl flat, which is going to be double tapping Y, pressing LB, and flicking the left stick to the right. You're going to see now he's in a curl flat. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put this right side defensive lineman into a curl flat, which is going to be double tapping the right D-pad, double tapping the left D-pad, pressing A and flicking the left stick to the right. And then we're actually going to be putting this left side linebacker right here into a bluff blitz, which is going to be double tapping the right D-pad, pressing Y, and flicking the right stick to the right. You could also just go ahead and rush them. You could rush 3 right here. But basically, this would be the second setup. Now, the only thing that I don't really like about this defense is that you see that the seams are really open here as you are playing in cover 3. There might present some problems right there. But you know what? If you're feeling confident in yourself, go ahead and give this a whirl. But guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, smash a like or share, smash 5 likes. Remember, guys, all the timestamps and the setups will be down below if you guys missed anything. But guys, take care. Most importantly, stay classy.